So today we are looking at how to deal with quadratic equations, especially finding the values if we are given the roots of the equation. So let us begin with this example. So if the roots of the equation are 3x squared minus x minus 1 equaling to 0, alpha and beta, find the values of, let us begin with 1, find the values of 2 alpha plus 2 beta. So first of all, we need to begin by looking at the sum of roots. So from the equation 3x squared minus x minus 1 equaling to 0, sum of roots alpha plus beta is the same as negative b over a, and this would be the same as negative 1 divided by 3. So the negative 1 is the value of b, which is the coefficient of x. So this would be the same as a third. Then alpha beta, which is product, is c over a. This one is the same as negative 1 divided by 3. Then we get back to our 2 alpha plus 2 beta. So we see that when we factorize out a 2, we shall remain with alpha plus beta. But now what is the value of alpha plus beta? The value of alpha plus beta, which is the sum, is 1 divided by 3. So finally we shall have 2 over 3. So we shall say 2 into alpha plus beta is equal to 2 over 3, and therefore 2 alpha plus 2 beta is equal to 2 divided by 3. So that was 1. So we can get another one. So another one would be alpha squared plus beta squared. So we want this, but how can we have it in a form where we have alpha plus beta and then alpha times beta? So we can say this will be got by expanding alpha plus beta squared. So we know when we square this is the same as alpha squared plus 2 alpha beta plus beta squared. So we need alpha and beta squared, so we shall bring them closer to each other. Beta squared and plus 2 alpha beta, and we say this is alpha plus beta to power 2. So since we need alpha squared plus beta squared, we are going to take 2 alpha beta to the left hand side. So we shall have alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta, giving us alpha squared plus beta squared. So we can begin with it on the left hand side. So alpha squared plus beta squared is the same as alpha plus beta squared, then minus 2 alpha beta. And now we get back alpha plus beta was 1 over 3. So we square this, then minus 2 times negative a third. So this will be the same as 1 over 9 plus 2 over 3. So that means alpha squared plus beta squared is going to be, so we look for LCM. Now this should be 9, then this will be 1 plus 9 divided by 3 is 3 times 2 is 6. So alpha squared plus beta squared be 7 divided by 9. So we can have yet another one. So our Roman 3, 1 over alpha squared plus 1 over beta squared. So what we need to do first is to begin by finding the LCM, which would be alpha squared, beta squared. So we get alpha squared, beta squared, we divide by alpha and squared, and that one will give us beta squared. So here we shall have beta squared. Then we add alpha squared, beta squared, divided by beta squared, we remain with alpha squared, we multiply it with 1, it remains as alpha squared. So we can rewrite that to be alpha squared plus beta squared. Then we can also rewrite this as alpha beta, then the power 2 goes outside. So we have just seen that alpha squared plus beta squared is the same as alpha plus beta bracket squared minus 2 alpha beta. So we are going to substitute it there. So that means 1 over alpha squared plus 1 over beta squared is the same as alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta, then divided by alpha beta squared. So what was alpha plus beta was third minus 2 times negative a third, then divided by negative a third to power 2. So I had seen the upper one, it had given us 7 over 9, so there is no need for us to again struggle. So this will be 7 over 9, and it is being divided by negative 1 squared will be 1, 3 squared would be 9. So when we are dividing fractions, we multiply by reciprocal, so this will be 7 over 9 times 9 over 1. So 9 cancels out with the 9 by 1 by 1, and then we end with our answer as 7. So that means 1 over alpha squared plus 1 over beta squared is equal to 7. So that was that. Then we can as well look at the formation of quadratic equations when we are given the same. So let us still continue with our equation, which was 3x squared minus x minus 1 equaling to 0, which had its roots alpha and beta. So we now need to form an equation whose roots are one over alpha and 1 over beta. So we are going to still begin by finding alpha, the sum. We had seen that the sum alpha plus beta is equal to a third, and then alpha beta is equal to negative a third. We are going to begin by finding the sum of our new roots. So sum is going to be 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta, which is the same as LCM is alpha beta. So alpha beta, when we divide, we shall have alpha still plus beta. So this will be a third divided by negative a third. So it will be 1 over 3 times 3 over 1 negative. So we shall end up with the negative 1. So the sum of roots is going to give us negative 1. And then we get the product of the new roots. It's going to be 1 over alpha and 1 over beta. And this is going to be the same as 1 over alpha beta, which we can say is 1 over negative a third. And that will give us negative 3. So our sum and product are giving us negative 1 and negative 3 respectively. So now we are going to substitute in the general formula, which is x squared minus sum of roots times x, then plus product of roots get this to 0. So we shall have x squared minus sum. What did the sum give us? The sum gave us negative 1. So negative 1 times x, then plus product. What did product give us? Negative 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. So our equation would be x squared minus x minus 3 is equal to 0. So that would be our equation. Then part 2, we can find an equation which has roots 1 over alpha squared and 1 over beta squared, still using the same words, the same quadratic equation. So still shall begin by finding the sum, which will be 1 over alpha squared plus 1 over beta squared. This one we are just seeing that here we shall have LCM, which is alpha beta squared, and here we shall have alpha squared plus beta squared. And then alpha squared plus beta squared is alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta. And then here we divide this by alpha plus beta squared. So that will be equal to alpha beta, so alpha plus beta was 1 over 3 squared minus 2 and negative 1 over 3, and divide by, so this was times negative 1 over 3 squared. When we use a calculator, we have seen that this one is going to give us a 7. And then we are going to find the product. So product of those roots is going to be 1 over alpha squared, 1 over beta squared. And this will give us 1 over alpha, beta, everything squared. This will be 1 over 3 negative squared, which would be 1 over 1 over 9, and this will give us 9. So we still substitute in our equation, which is x squared minus sum of roots x plus product of roots equal to 0. So x squared minus 7 times x plus 9 is equal to 0. So that will still be our second equation. So that is how we find equations using roots when we are given an original quadratic equation. Thank you. for watching this video, and if you like it, please subscribe, share, and like it. Thank you very, very much.